Hello beautiful souls, it's Kerry and I'm here with the full moon forecast for the 26th of January, 4:23 a.m. Australian Central Daylight Time. First thing I'm going to do is hold up the chart so that you can see the chart. Some people like to see the chart, and over here we have at what we would round up to 6 degrees of Aquarius, we have the sun. So the sun in Aquarius is all about the collective, what's good for the collective. And the moon is opposite, because the moon is always opposite the sun at a full moon, and the degree is at 6 degrees of Leo, what we would round that up to. Also at 6 degrees we have the Jupiter down here, and the Sabian symbol associated with this degree is the woman from Samaria bringing water from the well. And down here also we have the planet Saturn in Pisces, and that's also at 6 degrees. So 6 degrees, if you've got anything at 6 degrees, you'll probably find that this full moon actually has quite a significant impact on you. Full moons are great times to let go of anything no longer serving your highest good. And when I do my forecast, I really like to focus on the Sabian symbol for that particular degree. And this is the meaning of this. You can get meanings for Sabian symbols. They have a particular meaning, and this one is about an old-fashioned conservative woman being confronted by an up-to-date girl. And sometimes that's described as a hippie, but you know, a lot of the hippies are old-fashioned these days. But so what we're dealing with here with the moon, and the moon's about letting go of anything no longer serving our highest good, is maybe some prejudice that people may have for the older generation. So you have to remember, particularly when it comes to spiritual matters, that the journey to be someone who's able to share wisdom can take a long time. Not to say that young souls can't come in and be just completely full of wisdom and love and remembering things to the degree that get knocked out of us as we go through life. So we can't kind of make any hard and fast rules. But the thing is that sometimes the life experiences that you have, the challenges that you go through and overcome, can actually be a real source of wisdom for the younger generation. Now, I myself was raised in the Catholic faith. I was born in Ireland, and that faith and tradition was very strong. It's been very strong in the country for a couple of thousand years. And what happened, just a little bit of a history lesson, was prior to the Christians coming into Ireland, there was a Druidic spiritual community where men and women were treated fairly equally, and there was gods and goddesses, there were triple aspect goddesses, there was a sense of the moon, the planet, the earth, what we might today call paganism, I guess. And so what happened when the Christians started to bring the message of Christ onto the continent, there was some collaboration. Obviously there was some colonization, and there was some overpowering and declarations that the old ways should continue and the new ways were not to be accepted, and those kind of old traditions can really be quite ingrained, and they can become detrimental as well. So we're at a bit of a crossroads now in society, where we have the old traditional structures in the world. So we have some principal religions that dominate throughout the world, and all of the traditions that come with them. And a lot of the young people have lost faith in those traditions, and so are going more into what we would probably consider more like New Age or alternative types of things. And what I will say is that there is benefit to be found in each, and it depends really on where your planets are in your chart as to what's going to resonate with you. Now, I will say that there's a whole generation of young people that were born in the early 80s and then into the mid 80s, and they have a configuration which is it's actually a conjunction between the planet Neptune and the planet Uranus, and this conjunction took place in in Capricorn. And so there's a whole generation of young people who are looking to the tradition for a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning, a sense of belief. And it doesn't mean that they necessarily have to stay in it, but you have to know what your foundation is. You have to know what you're building your house on. So if you go and build your house on a graveyard, you might have some unexpected consequences from that. And so really, it's really important to know what your foundation is, and the spiritual traditions that have come before certainly have a lot to offer in terms of people understanding the deeper meaning. I mean, these days, anyone can go and get themselves a packet of tarot cards or a packet of cards, guidance cards, and they can give guidance to other people, and they may have a big following, and they may have a lot to say about things that maybe they don't really have any lived experience in understanding within themselves. And so it's really important to think about who you're listening to and where they're coming from. Now, as I said, I was born into a Catholic family in a Catholic country, and I lived in that country until I was almost 7, and then came to Australia, which is obviously much more multicultural and secular, and there's a division of church and state. And so I have this kind of little child part of me that is very orthodox and very conservative, and I had a great passionate interest in astrology from an early age, and so I've been having to walk between these two worlds. Now, when I look at my astrological chart, the planetary placements that I have make sense for why I have this kind of these two opposing forces to reconcile within myself and within my lived experiences. I don't believe that anything happens by accident. I don't believe that we just randomly get born somewhere and then we're victims of our circumstances. If you go with higher spiritual principles, then it is completely valid to see yourself as a soul that's chosen a family, that's chosen a country, that's chosen a tradition, that's chosen experiences to be able to get the message that you need to get across to the community to fulfill your soul purpose. Now, not everybody needs to get messages to the community. We're all here with a different role, with a different purpose. But part of what I have always felt my purpose was is about bridging that gap between the two worlds, the old world and the new world. And so if you'd like to have a reading with me or a healing, please get in touch. I'm also going to be starting classes this year. So if you'd like to do some training under me as to enrich your own spiritual practitioner work or to even develop it. So I like to help people to uncover their gifts and talents in a very relaxed and fun, creative kind of way, because I have myself over my life really struggled in certain education systems. I went to so many different schools as a child because we moved around a lot, and so I often struggled with the classroom situation. So I like learning to be fun, and I like it to incorporate the different styles that people bring. So I will do one-on-one sessions as well for those who may prefer that. But yes, coming soon, getting my website updated, and hope to have my mailing list up and running really soon. There's so much to do. But take care, lovelies, and enjoy the full moon. Now, you may want to do a little ritual. With it being a full moon, letting go is an issue. So you might want to write down perhaps some of your outmoded beliefs that no longer serve you, particularly some of the beliefs that superstition, for example, or condemnation, like if you don't do X, Y, and Z, God is going to punish you, or, disaster will happen. Really, what we need to focus on is what's coming out of our hearts, the vibration, the love vibration that we're sending out. And if your mind is a big mess of conflict and phobias and superstition and fear, and if I do this, this might happen, if I do that, that might happen. And I can certainly tell you I have battled those demons and got them back into their appropriate place. So I hope that helps, darlings. Get in touch if you need assistance on your soul journey. Take care.